You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With the century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service for people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer. Since 1947, the staff at Bruna Implement Company works daily to provide the best parts and service when you need it, always dedicated to their customers. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations, and they know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. With locations in Marysville, Washington, Clay Center, Seneca, Hiawatha, and Humboldt, Nebraska. Stop by or give them a call today.
Welcome into this week's edition of the TVL Rundown. It is TVL Tournament Week. Excited to talk about that. Me and Jeff are going to jump right on into it. Jeff, I'm going to start with the boys' side of the bracket. As you look at how seedings fanned out, Hanover, Axtell, and Doniphan West are your 1 through 3 seeds, all earning that first round bye. Clifton Clyde and Lynn will take on the 4-5 game. And then Blue Valley, Centralia, Frankfort, Washington County, Onega, and Valley Heights round out the seeding. On the boys' side of the tournament, obviously we're going to have to see how Saturday's actions go. I think there's an interesting game in there, especially in that 8-9 matchup between Frankfort and Washington County. Of course, the winner of that game goes on to face Hanover, who looks like the best team in the state right now. But that's going to be some good Saturday action in that one.
Oh, definitely. I think when you look at that 8-9 matchup every year, of course, really you want to focus on that Saturday. And both of these teams right now are playing very well. I think we've seen, just in the last 10 days or so, we've seen both Frankfort and Washington County maybe put out their best effort of the year, and everybody wants a shot. Everybody wants a shot at that number 1 team, and winner of that one gets that number 1 Hanover. I don't know right now why you would want a shot at number 1 Hanover after what they've done in the last week or so. I think they are a very, very good team, but never say never in this tournament.
Absolutely, 100%. And another Saturday game, Centralia and Onega boys, of course, they went to overtime last Friday, so that's going to be a good matchup. Winner of that goes on to face Axtell. And on that bottom side between 2-3 seeds, I haven't had a chance to see D West, but just looking at teams that they've beat, if both 2-3 seeds are able to make it into Thursday's action, that's going to be a heck of a matchup too. But don't discount Centralia. If they're able to beat Onega and Onega too going up against Axtell, that kind of bottom side of the bracket, I guess I'll say, could have some interesting matchups.
I really think so. That 7-10 matchup is the one that I really don't know what could happen there. We've seen both of these teams be really good, and we've seen them be very subpar over the last few weeks. There have been some games that I know both of these coaches have been rather upset by, and we'll see how that turns around. That's the key to this first round of the tournament. Can you put what you've learned already into what you're going to do in the next week in Washington?
And I think we know it. Yeah, every game's going to be a tough matchup. And we're not going to talk about who we think's going to come out of this tournament a winner. But I think the 2 teams that I know, in my personal opinion, have the best shot, it is Hanover, it is Axtell. And I think if they're able to match up on Saturday, they're going to meet later on in the season too as well. But that'll be the top 2 teams in Class 1A Division II, a rematch of last year's tournament championship, which Axtell won. I think both of these teams can see that as a possibility and really want that opportunity to go up against each other.
That's pretty clear. I think they've developed a rivalry between these two, not just on the basketball court, obviously on the football field, as well as seemingly everything else. You go to a track meet and they're not speaking to each other. So for the old school fan in the TVL, this is the matchup you're looking for. Max, though, I really think there are some other teams in here that can give both of these teams a run for their money. I look top 5 and can't find a extreme flaw in any of them.
And I'm with you there, too, as well. I think boys' side, on any given night, we say that throughout the basketball and football season, on any given night, if a team plays a good game and they get an opportunity against a team that's maybe not playing their best, you could see some upsets here in this TVL tournament. And then as we shift our attention to the girls' side of the bracket, Jeff, we've talked about it, and I've talked with coaches. This might be the deepest the Twin Valley League girls bracket has been in a long time. Your top 3 seeds, Hanover, Lynn, and Valley Heights, Donovan West, and Centralia are 4 and 5, and then Blue Valley, Frankfort, Clifton Clyde, Axtell, Washington County, and Onega will all play on Saturday. And I think the way the seeding has worked out, that Axtell Eagles team setting at number 6 and then Clifton Clyde at 7, those are 2 teams that I think if they can get hot, can make a run depending on the matchups they get later in the tournament.
You've taken the words right out of my mouth, because no disrespect to any of the rest of this league, but 6 and 7 in this league could be playing on championship Saturday. I truly believe that. It may take a little bit of work throughout the week, but I think either one of those teams have a very good shot if they are able to get into that second round unscathed and play a pretty good contest. It's going to be very tough to out either one of the Eagle teams.
Yeah, and as you look at other matchups, Blue Valley and Frankfort. Frankfort's getting back to full health now. Winner of that will take on Hanover. Blue Valley played Hanover close. And then your 4-5 matchup. Again, I haven't had a chance to see Donovan West, but the girls are a very respectable 9-3 team going up against Centralia, who's 8-2. That 4-5 matchup on Monday, winner of that will go on to face either Hanover, Blue Valley, or Frankfort. That's going to be another one that, if they can get on a roll 4-5, watch out for them moving on into Saturday's game too.
And we're just a couple of years removed from this D West team making state, so they're not a shabby team by any means. And the top side of the bracket looks really, really good. And we've said this, the 1 through 10 just look absolutely remarkable. I think this might be one of the best years in TVL history for this girls' side.
I guess, just, kind of final thoughts on the girls. We kind of talked about who can get to the boys championship. Obviously, every team's going to have a tough run of it. Hanover's playing real good. Valley Heights is going to have that opportunity. They're playing some good ball. But how interesting would it be, too, as well, if we get a Hanover-Lynn matchup in the championship game? They played just this last week in one of the best games in the TVL this year, a rematch of last year's state title. I think that would be an interesting matchup along with whoever else is going to get there to the Saturday championship games.
And when we get to that deep in the tournament, you know what it means. It means teams are beat up. It means teams have played several games in just a few days that wears you down, because obviously all of these games will wear you down. It's going to be who has what left on that Saturday. And we're speaking way too far ahead on this, because I really think that there's a lot to be determined between now and the 24th.
That there is, and you bring up a good point. I think that's why all the area coaches like this. It is almost kind of feels like a state bracket. You have to bring it every night, and that's why we enjoy covering the Twin Valley League. KNDY will start our broadcast over there Monday. I know, Jeff, you're going to be over there all weekend, so as always, where can everyone find updates from the tournament and everything else Twin Valley League?
Look us up on social media, TVL Sports Spotlight, and I will have new information up on tvlspotlight.blog, as well as hopefully a podcast we can get in later in the week at tvlspotlight.com.
Jeff has you covered with everything Twin Valley League, and we look forward to hearing from him too as well next week over on KNDY at the Twin Valley League tournament. That'll round down this week's edition of The Rundown as we get ready for the TVL tournament. We'll talk results next week as the high school basketball season rolls on through here in the Twin Valley League.
You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wurtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blaske with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.